Myco is the root word for mushroom, and we will talk about how mushrooms will replace plastics, food, building materials, and do so in a carbon negative way and save our planet. We'll also talk about perceptual engineering. It's a new type of engineering that has to do with your perception. So this is some of the things that my group has been doing over the last 19 years at MIT, where I'm the director of the MIT Label-Free Research Group, and as well as an instructor at the Sloan School of Business. Today, we'll talk a little bit about this, which is olfactory receptors and noses, such as this one that I showed you yesterday, that can sniff the same way that the dogs can, and how this idea, which stabilizes these proteins on top of electronic circuits, came from this idea, which also stabilizes proteins on electronic circuits, only this time the proteins are photosynthetic. And we built things for Africa many years ago that didn't work. Oh, big failure, huge success academically, all the published in Nature, etc. And yet nobody's using biophotovoltaic power in Africa. And I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you what we did about it. I'll also talk about this project here, which has to do with measuring pain. And pain is a perception, pain is in the brain, and it can be measured using toys. This is an EEG toy. That means a device you put in your head, and it can measure your scalp's brain waves. These report somewhat on your brain state and your medical state and your physical state and your state of pain. And we did this to do something completely different, to create solutions for ADD, attention deficit disorder, which, as the slide demonstrates, I have a lot of. And but we ended up by accident inventing the world's first pain detector. So people always ask me, what do I specialize in? What does my group specialize in? And it specializes in not specializing. The instinct is very strong once you get to do something to keep doing more and more of it. And but the real reason to live and to work at MIT is to do more than one thing, not to keep drilling into the same hole, which is also useful for some things, but to keep finding out new things. So that's why the group is called MIT Label-Free Research Group, because when your name means nothing, you can do anything. So that's why the name is like that. Big shout out to Philippos Turlomoussis, your fellow Greek scientist who created all these devices. And I bought him yesterday, but he's now in Greece, brought back his knowledge that he learned from the Stevens Institute of Technology and MIT back to Greece. And he's launched a company. You should keep an eye on this person very, very soon. And she creates underwear, high-end underwear out of mushroom mycelium. Max Hendricks from MIT, an MIT student, has gone back to Europe and he created this company, which creates mycelium coffins in order to decompose the body in a nice way and put it back in the soil in the forest. I was shocked to find out from him that one of the problems, I mean, he got a nice grant from the European Union for, I think, $1 million or something like this. But one of the things that he had to show, and one of the problems is that we have created a society in a world where our bodies are so contaminated, we bioaccumulate so much nonsense, so many chemicals and other things in our lifetimes that it is against the law to dispose of a human body in a forest with this method, unless you can prove that over 200 chemicals that the typical, at least European body has accumulated can be safe for the forest. So you must first leach that out of the body, then allow the body to be decomposed. Otherwise, you're hurting the forest. So where we've come to create for the human body to become a hazard, that tells you something that we've taken it far too far. I mean, I heard somewhere this horrifying idea that we now have microplastics found inside of human brains, living brains. That's just nonsense. Okay, we got to stop this. This mushroom material is also the #1 target for replacing styrofoam and all of packaging that is currently carcinogenic and all sorts of different products. By the way, Stella McCartney is Paul McCartney's daughter. Very high-end designer. There is no limit to the number of applications. Anything that is currently made of plastic can be replaced with this, and everything that is currently made of brick or lumber can be replaced with this. This is a lumber replacement, it's a brick replacement, it's a plastic replacement, it's also a food replacement, and it grows fast, it grows in a carbon negative way, and requires no pesticides. It is an amazing revolution or evolution of how we do food, how we do medicine, how we do building. And it is happening everywhere. We are one of many, many places that are doing this. We have our own approach to it. We've patented this triangle, which tells you that as a natural byproduct of creating food, drink, and medicine, you're creating bricks, composites, packaging, and insulation. And as a natural byproduct of these two processes, if you document what you're doing, and we are because we're born digital, Carolyn Kirksmith's idea here, that you can create IP, payment for ecosystem services, and carbon credits that will eventually eclipse the lucrative nature of everything. So with that, I am done, and I would like to invite your questions. I think I did well. I left 15 minutes for questions. And please tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, and what I can help you understand better. Thank you.